What's up, vintage comic fiends? Fins the Spook coming at you here with some comic book convention action. Just went to Deland Comic Convention, or Collectibles Convention Show, or whatever they call themselves, in Deland, Florida, which is Volusia County, kind of between Orlando and Daytona. It was pretty cool. Second time I've been there. A little bit bigger than last year, so definitely growing. I think all the local conventions are seeing a little bit more foot traffic. Dealer friends tell me it turns in, it's translating into profits. So good. It's not just people looking, So I don't know. We were kind of under the impression that it was a lot of people that are looking for pops, and which unfortunately I'm not gonna lie, I bought some myself. Those little bastards. People were looking for pops. People were looking for a lot of modern variants and stuff. You didn't see a lot of vintage buyers, but apparently they're out there, so that's good to hear. This is what I pulled in. Not a lot of stuff. Kind of ran out of time. We were with a friend, and he just kind of wanted to get out at a certain point before I was ready. And, whatever. There's always next year, so we just took off without... So I didn't really finish my my sack of goodies like I would have liked to. But go ahead and warn, there is no key in this video. I didn't buy any keys this time. I do have another video coming up tonight with a key in it, though. A local deal I did. It's got a first Silverage Catwoman. So check that out if that sounds cool. So what I'm going to go through here is what I bought at the Deland Con. Link some vendor names. I don't link names unless I'm really, really stoked about the deals. So, and some of these guys were just, little local dudes without, business names. So we'll just go with that. But where possible, I'll link dealer names. So the first thing that's up, we'll go with the CGC book here. I don't know if you can see, but it's a signature series, the yellow label. It's House of Secrets, number 90, excuse me. House of Secrets is just the twin to House of Mystery, which is kind of the book on the right there. You can see the other DC horror book that came out at the same time with it. I've kind of gone over what they are in a previous video, so we'll skip all that. But this is a signature series. The reason I bought it, it's kind of a mid-grade, what's literally mid-grade 5.0. It's signed by Neal Adams. It's also signed by a second fellow who I'm not familiar with, named Rich Buckler. Probably going to get some down votes or some bad comments for not knowing who that is, but I tend to not really be an artist and writers kind of guy. I just kind of like comics and don't focus too much on that. But yeah, it's a dual signature, Neal Adams, Rich Buckler. Neal Adams charges like $20 for a signature. I know that. And getting this witnessed and slabbed had to have cost at least another $30. So I know the dude was into it for $50 minimum. And he didn't sell it to me for too much more than that. So this was a really nice deal. I don't have any other signature series. I'm not really a CGC guy. I mean, it's funny I say that. I'm submitting some stuff this week. Because some books, if they're high grade and you want to maintain the value, you really need to get them CGC'd. Or CBCS, But I definitely don't do signature series. I don't like really getting books signed too often. But considering I'm not going to pay Neal Adams $20 for a signature, this was a pretty good compromise. I'll try to get it in a little bit. I struggle with the glare on the CGC books here. Neal Adams is right under the label here. I'm going to have some books fall if I'm not careful. I don't know how that's coming in. It's right under the House of Secrets in silver is Neal Adams' signature. And then Rich Buckler's signature is down here in black right on top of her dress. Really cool cover. Nice Neal Adams cover, reminiscent to me of Showcase 80, First Phantom Stranger in the Silver Age with the hands coming out. It's kind of a Neal Adams trademark. This was in his heyday, man. Well, I heard he's not necessarily the coolest guy. I've heard, he's a little bit arrogant. I think that he's by far one of the best Silver Age artists DC or Marvel produced. So anyway, there was that CGC 5.0 signature series, dual signature, blah, blah, blah. Neal Adams, Rich Buckler, pretty cool. Got it at a really, really nice price. I'm going to leave that pile alone. I'm going to just bring some stuff over here. Next one I got here is House of Mystery, 207. Bernie writes and cover, excuse me. Bernie writes and cover. This was just an upgrade to one I already had. The one I have is really jacked out, so this one's a really nice, I don't know, fine plus, fine, very fine copy, really cool. The checkerboard for my checkerboard collection, Fox and Crow, number 104. I fear it's pretty much been converted to Stanley and the Monster. These two Supermen, I say, would be the find of the convention for me. This is Superman 129, or excuse me, 179. I had to peek in there. Hope I didn't bust in on the camera too much. Superman 179. It was pretty good, got it for a nice low price, 12-cent Superman, always good. This one, though, I didn't even realize it, but this one, Superman 118, is now my lowest number Superman. I got this at a ridiculously low price from Tony Hines. Throw his dealer information in the description. I don't know what to say here. I wasn't even paying attention. I saw a Superman, and I'll even throw out the price, which I usually don't, but just kind of to illustrate the point. This was like $30. And I saw it in a Silverage bin, and I was just like, oh yeah, blah, 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 whatever, Silverage Superman. So I grabbed it, threw it in with some other stuff, and got home, and I was like, man, this is a 10-cent cover. This book's like not in bad shape at all. It's like a 4 or 5, and $30, man, I don't know. So this really was an awesome find, I think. It's a 10-cent cover, which are always pretty cool with Superman, or any DC covers. When you see them 10 cents, you get a nice old one. But anyway, so there was that. Here we had Classics Illustrated. This is an upgrade to a book I already have. I showed it off on my Halloween episode, my favorite quote-unquote book that I own. This is a really nice copy, sold to me again by Tony. Upgraded probably like 2 or 3 steps on the grading scale from the one I have. What I have is like maybe a VG. This has got to be like a fine plus, fine, very fine. So real happy with that. Nice and cheap too. Awesome. This one, it's a 5th printing. I left a dealer sticker on there. It's HRN 70, if you know what that means. 5th printing. It's got some water damage, real ugly staining, you can see. I don't know. I still am kind of on the fence about if I should have bought this or not. I got it for an okay price. It was a little more than I wanted to pay for this. Granted, it's not a Classics Illustrated I've ever seen before, and it's got 3 cool horror stories on it, so I don't know. And it's a pretty early printing. I mean, 5th printing's not 1st printing, but it's also not 18th printing. So I don't know. At this convention, there was a couple guys I wasn't crazy about the deals necessarily, but I just broke the ice with them because I just wanted to get something done, and this was one of those. But I'm not regretful I bought it. I just wish I'd got it a little bit lower price. But from the same guy, I did get these Witching Hours, and they were a good deal, $5 a piece all day long, plus whatever little bundle discount we got. There's Witching Hour 20. When you're still getting the cool. I don't know if it's Nick Cardy cover still or not. It doesn't look like Nick Cardy, but it might be. The Witching Hours produce some of the coolest covers. This one's not really one of my favorites, especially if that's a dead dog. I don't like that at all. Shame on you, DC. Here's Witching Hour 26. Cool cover. I like this one. I like the witch in the background just, laying the dude to the business, and he's unwrapping his corpse prize. I love it. Great cover. This one coming up here, The Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love, number 2. Little bug-eaten, and I'm not... Hello. You got out of order, didn't you? Stay there, friend. This... I don't really... You can see on the bottom, it's been kind of bug-eaten. First 2 or 3 pages have some bug damage on the bottom. I'm not one to buy books in this grade, usually. Unless they're super cheap, or it's something I need. But... I don't think I've really kind of gone into these books, so I'll take just a second. This is Dark Mansion of Forbidden Love. It only has 4 issues, and then it switches over to, I think it's just Tales of or Dark Mansion or Forbidden Mansion or something like that, and it becomes just a straight horror book. There's another one that does this. It's called Secrets Sinister House of Forbidden Love or something like that. It's very close to this title. Anyway, they're these gothic romance horror books that DC tried. And they were supposed to appeal to girls, I think, because, again, it's romance, strictly. But they also are in the DC horror line. They really probably didn't do very well, because both of them only go to, like, 4 issues before the title swaps. And they're not very common. I wouldn't say rare. They're certainly not scarce, but they're not super common. This is the last one I needed for the run. So it was $5, you know what I mean? Yeah, it's a little bug-eaten. I certainly wouldn't have paid more than $5 for it, but it was the last one I needed. It's complete. The pages aren't damaged in the sense of the story or anything. And it's otherwise pretty solid copy. I mean, VG for sure, no better, but $5 all day long, man. And then last, here we got Witching Hour number 57. Kind of a Nah, I'm not really crazy about that cover. The DC logo's got a little damage on it, so that book's just one I kind of threw in on a bundle, I think. I'm going to try to get the stuff behind the CGC book, so if I end up knocking my comics over, there will definitely be an edit in this video, but let's see if I can do this without being an ogre. Lay these down. Excellent, there we go. I'll go through these pretty quick because I know these really aren't of interest to most of you. I don't think most of you guys are kind of have the fetish for the weird old cartoony art that I do, but I got a stack of Archies. I paid a little bit too much for these, but again, I'm trying to break the ice with this guy and some really early Supermans, like in the 20s. That's right, in the 20s. But, so, you know, maybe pay a little bit much here. Hopefully that'll give me some leeway down the road. This was a cool Madhouse cover. Just got some witches on it, like that. I do collect Sabrina, the new comic, Chilling Adventures of Sabrina. I found to be a really good horror book. Kind of got my blood hot for the old Sabrina comics, so I started picking those up. So here's a couple of those. 6, 23, Sabrina number 3. You actually, these are a little expensive, you know. Sabrina's, I mean, you can find these in dollar bins, I'm sure, if you're patient. But, you know, anybody who knows what they're doing, these are easily 10 to 15 bucks a piece. Sabrina number 1 can go for a lot more than that, because it's just, you know, these are kids' books and they got torn up. Finding them in good shape is kind of tough. Here's the 60s, and I think there's even some 50s Archies in here. They all feature the girls on the cover, so, you know, no worries. This will be hopefully a little bit entertaining. Let me break these out of there a little bit. So, Betty and Veronica on the beach. Again, I've gone over this. I'm a Veronica guy. So if Betty and Veronica, specifically Veronica's not on the cover, I really like that one. I like Veronica's kind of pouty expression there. It's cool, you know, if you're into these things, man, you can get these pretty cheap if you find someone who's, you know, kind of desperate to get rid of them. These probably don't sell very well, but like I said, I didn't get hammered on them, but I certainly that one I got for a good price, but that was from a different guy. I certainly didn't make a mint on these or anything. But again, they're not for resale. They're just for my private kind of weird Betty and Veronica fetish, I guess, to be, you know, dead honest. And there's the last one. So anyway, guys, thanks for sticking with me. Like I said, another video coming up tonight. I'm going to do a local pickup I did, just something to keep in the camera on focus there. I'm going to do a local video, or a local pickup video with a bunch of Ghost Rider. Jesus, man, I'm having trouble tonight. A bunch of ghosts and witching hours from DC, as well as a Catwoman Silverage key. So check that out if that sounds interesting. Thanks for sticking with me, guys. Feel free to hit me up in the comments section. Let me know what you thought, any questions, any comments. See you later.